What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Make Things to Break Things Outdoors. I'm Jason Spade, and I hope everybody's been staying warm with this weather we've been having lately. So today we're going to be talking about the ODENWOLF W-SCANDI. And the first thing that I want to note about the ODENWOLF W-SCANDI is I have seen a lot of videos about it. I watch videos about the knives that I review, trying to see if I can say anything about it that nobody else has said, or try to do something with it that nobody else has done. And what I basically noticed about this knife in most videos I watched about it is they don't tell you where it's made. They'll say something like, oh, I really don't know where it's made, or I couldn't find anywhere on the box or online of what the country of origin is, but the company's based out of Germany, so it must be pretty good. Well, as you can see right there, it's made in China. So, yes, the company is out of Germany, but the knife is made in China. So, now in the box, got a little sleeve. It's got words and stuff on it. I don't care about that. Now, I have used this knife already, but this knife was a gift, so we're not going to abuse it like I do most. So, comes with not a Kydex sheath, but a plastic sheath. I don't know what kind of plastic it is. It's got this little belt loop, like molly mount kind of thing. Nothing really too fancy, just decent little sheath overall. It's got a pretty tactile little click to get it out of there. So this blade is in D2, it says, and it's supposedly hardened to 60 Rockwell. I don't know about that. When I sharpened it, it seemed a little bit easier to sharpen than D2 is normally, but that may be because it's 60 Rockwell and not 61 or 62 Rockwell like D2 usually is. Now the thing about this knife is the handle pisses me off a little bit. And the reason that I say it pisses me off is because of this little lanyard loop right here. If you use it to baton anything, and like I said, I haven't tried to abuse this knife at all, so I haven't batoned it hard at all. This thing hurts. It hurts so bad. Now, the handle, other than that, isn't too bad. The only other gripe I have about it is this little bump here. Like where my thumb usually goes over the blade. I don't really like the way it feels when it lifts my thumb. I like something more along the lines of, you know, where it's just flat, flush to the top of the blade. I don't really like anything between me and the blade. So what little bit of batoning I did do with it, I've noticed that it is a decent batoner as far as geometry goes. Now, it scares me that it's D2 because I love D2. D2 is one of my favorite budget metals, but I have a bad habit of breaking it. I've broke a lot of D2 knives because it's a lot brittler than simple steels or a lot of other steel choices out there, but what it excels at is edge retention, and this knife does have extremely good edge retention. Like, you could probably make feather sticks and carve with this thing all day long and it'd still be sharp when you got home. That being said, the edge angle is a little bit high for me, which when I'm saying the edge angle is high, I mean it's obtuse. So this would be a low edge angle, this would be a high edge angle. I think it's got a fairly high edge angle, which being D2 makes sense. I wish, me personally, which I can sharpen it myself on a belt grinder, but I kind of wish that it was a little bit lower of an angle, because feather sticking, it's a little bit harsh to me. So, or I said feather sticking, I meant carving. But like, as far as feather sticking goes, and these are some poplar boards my girlfriend found, and now I have hundreds of them. So for feather sticking tests, I'm going to start using these in the future because they're pretty consistent. I think my girlfriend said like these were part of some kind of conveyor belt or something. I'm not really sure. Somebody at a yard sale or something basically just gave them to her and explained to her what they were, and I ended up with them. So I found that when I feather stick on these things, it's pretty consistent. So for data purposes, I'm gonna start using these. But like as far as feather sticking goes, I mean that high edge angle, it just makes it, I don't know, I just don't like the feel of it with that high of an edge angle. It's not horrible, but it just, I don't know. Now, as far as durability goes, I can't really say. Like I said, this knife was a gift, and I don't want to abuse it. And this video is probably going to be pretty short because of it. Now, what I would say about this knife as compared to something like the BPS Adventurer or the Condor Pterosaur, it doesn't really fit in this category to me. Like the feel and the way that this knife handles and the sheath, all of that together, it doesn't really fit in the bushcraft category, and it doesn't really fit, you know, like in the tactical camp knife, survival knife category either. I think this was kind of meant to be like an in-between. So where I feel this knife would excel is if you wanted a camp knife that was really affordable, that you could go do survival stuff with your buddies, or, you know, take fishing with you to impress your friends to build a fire with, or baton a little bit of wood or something, you know, really to just show off that you've been watching YouTube a lot and I now have survival skills. This would be the guy, because it does a little bit of everything. It doesn't really excel at anything though. It's not really a great carver, but it can carve. It's not a great feather sticker, but it can feather stick. It doesn't strike fire sticks. Doesn't strike fire steels that well, but it will strike fire steels, especially if you sharpen it up with sandpaper like I did. It's not the most comfortable knife, but it does knife things. It holds in the hand, I guess. So all in all, I'm not really super impressed with this knife, but for the price, the fit and finish is exceptional. I just, for $35, I mean, you can't beat it. It's a good starter knife for sure. Now, would I EDC this thing? Probably not. If this was the only knife I had out in the woods, I would be okay. I mean, honestly, like, I'm neither for or against this knife, really. It doesn't give me the warm fuzzies, and I don't hate it. Am I thankful that I was gifted it? Of course. I love any gift that is a knife, whether it's good or bad or whatever. Now, I'm sure that eventually I'll probably like convex it and raise the edge, and it might completely blow me away once I do that. But this is the ODENWOLF W-SCANDI, made in China. Thanks for watching Make Things to Break Things Outdoors. I'm Jason Spade. Have a good one. Hi, thanks for watching Make Things to Break Things Outdoors. I'm Jason Spade, and this is GP. GP would like it if you liked and subscribed. He'd also like it if you rung the notification bell. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.